Hi everyone, this is Tracy from Inspired Chi bringing you your new moon in Aries insight reveal. Happy birthday to any and all of my Aries energy out there that are looking into what they can do to be of service at this time, to serve and to lift the vibration not only of their spirits and souls, but also of the planet in this trying time. I wanted to read something briefly from the Guide from the Advanced Soul. It's kind of this fun book that I got from my mom that you kind of like flip to different sayings. And the one that came today was, one cannot conquer the evil in himself by resisting it, but by transmuting its energies into other forms. The energy that expresses itself in the form of evil is the same energy which expresses itself in the form of good, and thus the one may be transmuted into the other. Charles Henry Mackintosh. So, while we can't really escape this time that we're going through and to pretend that nothing is actually happening and putting an intention out there for a completely uncertain intention, Agnes had prepared a meditation that I will provide the link to in the top of this video for holding the vibration of your divinity during difficult times. So the question was, how do I hold my vibration strong and how can I serve for this new moon energy? I'm going to record it all together into one video, but I will provide you the timestamps as you move on to whether you pick pile 2 or pile 3 and so on and so forth. So in the interest of simplicity in this time that we're all running around a little bit crazy or being home and a little bit stir crazy, either way, quite crazy time. If you chose one, we have 3 tarot. I'm going to put those together. And you got 2 out of the 3 that you have are majors. Obviously, this is a really big, important time universally. Energetic-wise, we have self-worth and prayer, and we'll talk about that in a moment. From our Divine Guides, Life Purpose deck, we have Artist. And from the angels, we have Cherish Innocence. And the moon cards, a personal issue reaches resolution, and that's a full moon in Cancer, Cancer being a water sign, in dealing with your emotions. So the first thing I'm picking up here, which is probably obvious to most of you, is there's probably an art teacher here that picked one. But we're talking about cherishing your innocence right now, going back to a more simplistic time. Obviously, that's what's happening right now. And what could you do to really channel your soul and really keep your vibration high? So it's showing me that you've been waiting for something, not just what's going on now where everybody's in the state of waiting, but also the fact that you've been waiting in anticipation for something, which is now obviously going to be on some type of a delay, but the ship is coming in. And while this character's back is towards us, he's looking to the horizon and knowing what he has been waiting for is going to be coming. As we wait some more with the card of the Hangman. And being upside down, just not only in a time where you can do nothing and you're kind of being put on hold to wait. What it's asking you is actually to look at things from a whole new perspective, a different way of looking at things, a different way about thinking about things. And it would probably be a really good idea for the ones if you did any type of journaling to really express the thoughts coming in and out, the inspiration, the dark thoughts, whatever that might be at this time, to get that expression out. Because as you've been waiting for something and you've been put on hold, what you have coming up in your future here is you have the Star card. The Star card is hope, wish fulfillment, and a new beginning. So this is coming towards you, even though that you're on hold right now. So just having that hope that there's another day coming and being able to have that hope is to cherish innocence, to go back to the simpler things, to think back to the things that used to bring you joy. And I'm getting a high, not just because we have this artist card, but there's been a lot. I've seen it on Facebook, a lot of people who haven't painted in a long time or haven't pulled out their crafts or did anything, whether it's you have that time on your hands to be able to go back to a simpler time and do that for your soul, or you know your life has been crazy. You're one of the people out there in the thick of it, and when you come back, you really need nothing more but to be brought to a more simplistic state of thinking and being in this very stressful time. A personal issue reaches resolution. I definitely get the energy that before this happened, in this sense of waiting, you were kind of two minds about something, and it probably that seems like really, really silly now. How much thought and energy you gave that. So, as much as this brings in a lot of fear and it can bring in a lot of uncertainty, it's also wiping away the things that were really petty that got caught up in our minds, remembering our self worth and remembering to show that to others in what they're feeling and how they're being, and to empower others. I feel like there's a lot of, prayer that will be helpful at this time, leading prayer, leading that hope, the fact that you have prayer and hope, creating a quiet space in this time of waiting, in a peaceful place, full of art and beauty, the innocence of children and the happiness of children. This can be very scary for the kids. It doesn't have to be a scary time. It could be a time that they can finally look back on. Think about all of the times that I know that I've said this is clearly more serious than a snowstorm. But think of all those memories that you have from childhood, of the days that probably gave your parents the biggest headaches, but you had the biggest joy of being out there and building and, drinking hot chocolate, eating tomato soup, whatever those simple things were. Go back to it and find the joy in that and bring that out for the children around you. A lot of people are away from their families at this time. Being grateful for the family that you have, checking up on the others that don't have that, and really making up your mind about whatever it was that you were stuck with. Probably about 2 weeks ago when we did this full moon reading, and being of two minds about something, again, that just seems so silly. So just putting aside the pettiness, bringing people together with the simple things in life, knowing your self-worth, knowing how to bring that out in others and make them feel good, leading in prayer, the energy of hope and renewal and a new day, and just looking at things from a different perspective while we wait in anticipation. I hope that message was helpful for you. And we're going to move on to two. I know these are a little bit shorter messages, and I do apologize, but things have been a little crazy. But we did want to get this out to you along with the meditation. Like I said, we have a meditation that I will post a link to the end of it that Agnes had done, or AJ, as you know her as AJ, for the collective that I had listened to. And I really am excited about doing the full meditation, because it is a very uncertain time. And there's a lot of triggers being, set up at any given moment, whether it's a phone call, it's more news, it's, the fear of, anything happening to our family, our friends, our loved ones, the fear that it takes to go to work sometimes in this time, and the frustration when you're stuck at home, but just finding the gratitude in all of that. Okay, twos, we have trust, universal heart, perseverance, despondence, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and the Moon card. Be bold and make the first move. Okay, so we're talking about how can you hold your vibrations strong and how can you serve. I also feel like you may have been about two minds of something recently, much like the ones, being kind of stuck, trying to decide what it is that you wanted, maybe looking at things with such judgment, which now, again, seems so out of context for what you're going through now. And you think back to what a simpler time was only 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to what we're facing now and the questions that have gone through your mind. But to remember to trust your feelings, your dreams, your path, and trust that this is all going to work out in the end, that this is a hard time, but having that faith that this is all part of your path, all part of why you were brought here at this time, to be this universal heart and love, to give that unconditional love to the planet, to the world, to your neighbors, to yourself. And living in that vibration, coming back to love, is really where you're able to be most open. You're able to help the most. You're able to raise this vibration. And it's asking you to persevere during this time, because I feel like you're saying, yeah, I used to be like that, but not even just over the recent events. I feel like there has been something kind of brewing underneath that has really caused you to feel very detached from what your own heart was saying, what your own heart was speaking. Because I get a couple different things from this. And of course, it is a general reading, so some of it will resonate for you, some of it won't. But on one hand, for some of you, I see this really being more job related, more career related, in the sense of like, just being despondent, just like over it, not really all that interested in what you were doing, kind of just going through the motions there. Really negative energy, not really in creation, not really in inspiration, and not trusting. There's a lot of feeling of a lack of trust here. And I'm not saying that you weren't maybe given the reasons to do that. I mean, we all come with baggage that happens along the way. But in this disappointment, this emotional disappointment, we get this one quite a lot. And he's crying over those spilled cups, those dashed dreams, but he's not seeing the bright cups that are behind him because he's so focused on what actually went wrong. He can't look about persevering and having that hope that there is a new day. So whether that is in career, this is the card of the independent woman or man, in whatever context that resonates for you. But this is a person that's kind of has everything together. She's kind of good on her own. Maybe she would like a company, maybe she would like a partner, but she doesn't need it. She kind of had to, pick herself up by the bootstraps, pick herself up by all of the broken hearts, because she started out a lot less, like having a lot less strength to be able to be like, hey, I'm good. This isn't a bitter thing. I'm just good. I don't know if I want to invite anything back in my life. And there's this inner conflict going on, and a little bit of self-sabotage. So what's making me think that, that could have a lot to do with not following your dreams and your career, not thinking that, maybe you got turned down for something and then you just gave up there. You didn't keep going after it. You became very negative about it. Or again, because we're talking about universal love, this could be in a specific relationship. This could be a romantic relationship. For some of you, it's saying, be bold and make the first move. And again, this could be in romance. This could be in, leading the collective in that love energy, in that healing, in that happiness, and being open to love again, and being open to receive as well as give love in every moment, in everything that we do. So your vibration, and I think this was actually the one that had the rose quartz on it as well. So what's going to keep you in your vibration strong and how you can serve is to be love and to forgive and to show others their beauty and to be open to be receiving that into your own life. So being bold and making the first move, what do you have to lose? I mean, clearly, it doesn't get much worse than this. So what do you really have to lose if you go for that job? If you put something out there that shows your innermost thoughts or feelings without fear of judgment? If you get out of that inner conflict and just be that universal heart and just trust that the things that happen in the past don't always happen in the future. Sometimes they're just there to guide us in the lessons that we need to be successful as we really get closer to what's meant more for us. So choose, I hope that was helpful. Again, I apologize. It is a shorter message, but we definitely wanted to get something out to you at this very hectic time. Don't forget to check out AJ's meditation on holding the vibration of your divinity during difficult times. And we're moving on to 3. Okay, we have abundance for 3, wisdom, 7 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 7 of Swords, stepping out of your comfort zone, sensitivity, and being accommodating. So I feel a lot of, with these cards, that those of you who chose 3 may already be on a more extended spiritual path. Like you may be into yoga, into Reiki, into following your intuition, having gut feelings, knowing things about yourself, being able to know who your guides are and being in touch with them, being able to see the messages being, sent to you by the loved ones that have crossed over. I feel like these double 7s here with this new thought, this new idea, and bringing in of wisdom from the guides definitely shows me somebody who's already knee deep into spiritual work. So that's definitely going to be how you're keeping your vibration strong and how you can serve the community at this time. Be accommodating, help people to talk about how they're feeling, checking on people who, maybe might be lonely or might be frustrated and just need a little bit of a break. Becoming more sensitive and making changes accordingly. At this time, you're going to notice we're in accelerated change and shift. It's kind of overshadowed by all of this upsetting negativity and drama we have going on with this current state of the world. But one of the things that you may be noticing, and if you haven't, you probably will, is that there has been slight shifts that are happening probably a little bit quicker than they have in the past. So one of the ways that you can serve is to go in and connect with your guides and be able to share those experiences with people who it might be helpful for at this time. I mean, we are limited to a degree of who we can visit and what we can do. But checking on people, saying, hey, I'm doing this online meditation. Maybe this might be something that you enjoy. And I really just feel, I keep just getting like checking on people. You have a wisdom. People look up to you. People go to you for advice. People are expecting you to be strong. It doesn't mean that you're going to be all of the time. Being in touch with your own emotions and being an example of how it is okay to have those emotions and everything in this difficult time, but to turn to the wisdom of your guides, just to know that this is a moment, this will pass. And on the other side of this, there's going to be such abundance. I know that seems kind of to contradict the state of Wall Street, but this is a spiritual abundance from that brings so much more joy than money could ever bring. So, but it looks like it may actually bring some money here too. So that's good. Keeping the wisdom, helping others. I also get like an energy of someone who's maybe doing some business mentoring at this time. I definitely feel like your sensitivity to be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, plus your experience. I definitely don't feel like the threes have lived a life of boredom. I feel like you've had a lot of purpose. I feel like you've had a lot of experience. I feel like you've had a lot of just maybe like walked a lot of paths. And really that's where your strength will lie at this time. Really just standing your ground, being okay with who you are, being able to express that, being able to speak your truth, and walking away from that which no longer serves you. You're going to see a lot at this time. At this time in the universe, you're going to see the very best in people and you're going to see the very worst in people. And I think it will be an accelerated way to see who stays and who goes as the dust settles from this and you move on in your light, in your wisdom, in your abundance. So be accommodating to those that you can help. Check on the people that you, might be able to make feel like they're not alone during this time. I find that some of the strongest people will never reach out and ask for your help. You don't ever just say, hey, can I help you? You just do it because they won't ever say yes. And I feel like you know that because I feel like you're pretty intuitive, but I kind of get, I don't want to say it's Secret Santa because that's kind of a weird thing to say at this point in time, but that's the type of energy that I feel here. I feel like your spiritual growth is happening and there's been subtle shifts. I feel like there's a lot of wisdom and abundance that you bring with you. That deep in your soul will be there to help other people. So standing in your truth and standing in your light and walking away from those that no longer serves you will help to keep your vibration high so that when this dust does settle, you can move on to bigger and better things with your spiritual sevens. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to head over to AJ's meditation, Holding the Vibration of Your Divinity During Difficult Times, over at our website at www.inspiredchiradio.com. I will also provide the link in the top of where this is posted. And just look out for each other, stay safe, and remain hopeful. Have a great new moon cycle. I hope this was helpful in setting your intentions.